Good morning. As a part of practical demo, we will see how to identify monosaccharide, that is whether it is glucose or fructose. Okay, so that is the purpose for the practical exam purpose. How to identify monosaccharides or in general carbohydrates. Here, particularly glucose and fructose. So you have to see some reactions of carbohydrates. As you know, carbohydrates are polyhydroxy aldehydes or ketones are compounds which yield these on hydrolysis. So how carbohydrates, they contains many, they are hydrates of carbon, they contains many hydroxyl group, okay, with the carbon, for example glucose C6H12O6. So they are classified into monosaccharide which contains on hydrolysis, which is a simple sugar, okay, so which cannot be further hydrolyzed. Oligosaccharides which contains about 2 to 10 monosaccharide unit. Oligosaccharide further classified into disaccharide, tri, tetra, etc. Important disaccharides, you know what are those? Sucrose, lactose and maltose. Okay. Polysaccharide contains more than 10 monosaccharide units. They contains hundreds of monosaccharide unit. Either same type of monosaccharide unit, for example some polysaccharide contains only glucose, some contains fructose, some contains glucose and fructose. So if they contains same type of monosaccharide unit, such polysaccharides are called homopolysaccharide. If a polysaccharide contains a different monosaccharide unit, more than one type of monosaccharide unit, then it's called heteropolysaccharide. Homopolysaccharide, as I told you, it contains single monosaccharide unit, example starch, glycogen, inulin. Heteropolysaccharide, example agar and glycose, aminoglycans like heparin, hyaluronic acid, chondroitin sulfate, etc. So again I don't want to revise this. Let us directly go to this practical aspect. There are certain color reactions of monosaccharide. See, this is the Molish test which we have to perform first. Okay, Molish test we have to perform first. For identification for glucose and fructose, I will send you a separate slide or class. Now you should know in detail what are the reactions of monosaccharide. So Molish test is a general test for carbohydrate. What is the meaning of general test? All type of carbohydrate, whether it is monosaccharide and disaccharide, oligosaccharide or polysaccharide, they should give like starch, whether it is sucrose, whether it is glucose, galactose, maltose, all will give this test positive. Okay. So actually what we have to do here is we have to treat the carbohydrate or sugar solution with sulfuric acid. Okay, so it undergoes hydration. What is the meaning of hydration? There is a removal of water molecule to form furfural derivatives. Okay, when sugar solution treated with sulfuric acid, dehydration takes place, nothing but removal of water molecules, which on condensation furfural derivatives are formed, which on condensation with alpha naphthol to form a reddish violet complex. Okay, so as in first year, no need to worry too much, but you should know what is the importance of this test. So Molish test is general test for carbohydrate. So how to perform? Take 2 dry clean test tube. In one, take 2 ml of carbohydrate solution, means sugar solution. Add 2 drops of alpha naphthol, which is a solution. With the stopper bottle, we can add just 2 drops and mix. Then incline the tube, okay, and cautiously add 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid by the side of the test tube, so that the acid forms a layer under the carbohydrate solution. So here you have to careful. After the addition of alpha naphthol, you have to careful. We are not supposed to shake the tube cautiously. Without shaking the tube, from the side of the test tube, slowly add sulfuric acid without disturbing the solution or layer. Okay. So that much enough actually. Gently rotate the test tube between the palms of the hand uh, to bring the slight mixing of the interference actually not required. So, so first part is enough actually. Add 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid by the side of the test so that the acid forms a layer under the carbohydrate solution. So what happens in the middle, you should get one layer. Okay, in the middle you are supposed to get one layer. So that ring I will show in carbohydrate slide, next slide, next last slide. Okay, so you're supposed to get a ring in between the two layer. What type of ring? Reddish violet ring. Okay, so that is the test. So any carbohydrate gives Mollis test. So any carbohydrate you get reddish violet ring. So Mollis test positive means you're supposed to get a reddish violet ring at the junction of two layer. So Mollis test is general test for carbohydrate. So next one is Benedict's test. So student, remember, you may get a short note in theory exam, especially in clinical chemistry class, last unit. So this is one of the important short note, Benedict's test. So what is the purpose, or you may get multiple choice? I repeatedly told. What is the use of this Benedict's test? Is used to detect reducing sugars in the urine, presence of reducing sugars in the urine. Any type of reducing sugar, whether it is glucose, fructose or galactose, maltose, any type of reducing sugar gives Benedict's positive. Okay, so actually what happens here, reducing sugars under alkaline conditions tautomerize to form NADOLs. The NADOLs are powerful reducing agent. They can reduce cupric ion to cuprous. Cupric means 2 plus. Cu, cupric means copper, Cu 2 plus to cuprous form, which in turn reduce the cupric ion to cuprous ion, means yellow cuprous hydroxide. Cuprous hydroxide on heating converted to red cuprous oxide. Okay, cuprous hydroxide on heating converted to red cuprous oxide. So from where we get cupric ion actually, that is present in the Benedict's reagent, which contains copper sulfate. Okay, so reducing sugar under alkaline conditions reduce cupric to cuprous ion. So cuprous hydroxide is formed. On heating, it converted to red cuprous oxide, that is colored red cuprous oxide. Okay, depend on the concentration of the sugar, color changes. Okay, so actually Benedict's reagent is blue color. Depending on the sugar, it changes to light green, dark green, yellowish, orange, then finally brick red. Okay, so actually procedure is simple. We have to take 5 ml of Benedict's reagent and add 8 drops of carbohydrate solution. If it is urine, we have to add urine solution. Here carbohydrate solution, then boil for 2 minutes and cool the solution. Okay, exactly you have to add 8 drops to 5 ml of Benedict's reagent. Add 8 drops of carbohydrate solution. Heat over a flame for 2 minutes. Then cool and observe for changes of the color. As I told you, Benedict's reagent is blue in color. After boiling, if color changes means green to yellowish, red, orange. Finally, brick red means it is 1 plus to 4 plus. Okay. So, what is the use of this Benedict's test? it detects the reducing sugars in urine. So glucose solution gives Benedict's positive. Which one non-reducing? During theory part I told you sucrose is as it is non-reducing. Okay. So usually these tests are qualitative. No, we can know present or absent, positive or negative. But Benedict's test is also called as semi-quantitative test. Okay. See, color of the solution or precipitate gives an approximate idea amount of reducing sugar. For example, blue is negative. If it is a trace green color comes, we can say 0.5 grams of sugar is present. If color changes to yellow, means 2 plus or 1 grams about approximate. If color changes to orange, still more 1.5 grams means 3 plus. 4 plus means big red precipitate means amount of sugar present is more than 2 grams. Like that, Benedict's test is also semi-quantitative test. So how many tests we completed? One is the Molish test, which is general test for carbohydrate. This is Benedict's. If it is carbohydrate, suppose glucose means carbohydrate, it is confirmed. So we have to go for whether it is reducing or non-reducing. For that we used Benedict's test. Next test is Barford test. Actually we can perform Barford test to distinguish monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. So what are the monosaccharide? Glucose, fructose in general we can say, galactose and all monosaccharide. So differentiate monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. 3 disaccharide is there. Generally we use sucrose, maltose and lactose. In that sucrose is non-reducing. So remaining reducing disaccharides are maltose and lactose. So distinguish between monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. Barford test helps. This test also almost similar to Benedict's. See, monosaccharide reduce cupric ion in even acidic conditions. Usually alkaline condition is maintained, but monosaccharides reduce cupric ion even in acidic condition, whereas the reaction with reducing disaccharide is slow. Okay. So monosaccharide even in acidic condition gives stronger reaction compared to reducing disaccharide. Okay, means for example glucose gives stronger reaction compared to maltose, which is reducing disaccharide. So this property is used in Barford test to distinguish a monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. You have to read this properly, then it is easy to what is the use of Barford test to distinguish a monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. So cuprous ion formed is treated with phosphomolybdic acid. Phosphomolybdic acid is colorless, which is reduced to phosphomolybdous acid. Phosphomolybdic acid is colorless, which is reduced to blue phosphomolybdous DOUS acid. So we get opaque blue color in the presence of monosaccharide. If it is monosaccharide, we get opaque means intense blue color. So what is the procedure? 2 ml of Barford reagent, add 2 ml of carbohydrate solution. Place the test tube in boiling water bath for 2 minutes. Cool and add phosphomolybdic acid drop by drop with mixing. What is the procedure? 2 ml of Barford reagent, add 2 ml of sugar or carbohydrate solution. Place in boiling water bath for 2 minutes. Cool under running tap water. Add phosphomolybdic acid reagent drop by drop with mixing, so that we get opaque blue color, intense, if it is monosaccharide. Okay, if it is reducing disaccharide means we get just blue color, not opaque. So here one precaution we have to take, that is overheating is avoided. Otherwise we may get even disaccharide also may give opaque blue color. Okay, So Barford test is to distinguish between monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. So if it is suppose if we get Molish, if a given solution is glucose means or fructose, you imagine. So Molish you will get positive because it is general test. Benedict's you should get positive for glucose and fructose because glucose and fructose are reducing sugars. Whatever Barford, Barford also you supposed to get opaque blue color because glucose or fructose is monosaccharide. Now how to differentiate glucose or fructose, or how to differentiate aldose sugar or keto sugar? Which one is aldose sugar? Aldehyde group. Hexose, glucose contains aldehyde group, it is aldose sugar. Fructose is fructose and sucrose is keto sugar. So this Selivanov's test is used to distinguish between aldose sugar or keto sugar. So fructose, remember, it is a keto sugar, correct? No classification of monosaccharide. So Selivanov's test is used to distinguish between aldose sugar and ketose. If it is ketose, fructose on treatment with the hydrochloric acid to form 5-hydroxy-methyl furfuryl, which on condensation with the resorcinol gives cherry red color. Okay, that is the reaction actually, condensation reaction. So removal of water to form furfuryl with resorcinol, condensation with resorcinol, it gives cherry red color. So keto sugars gives Selivanov's positive. So ketones react much faster than aldoses under the conditions of the test. So we have to boil only 30 seconds. So what is the use of Selivanov's test? Used to detect keto sugar specifically. So here precautions to be taken. Overheating of the solution is avoided because on continuous boiling aldoses like glucose will also give the test positive. So Selivanov's test distinguishes between fructose, which is a ketose, and glucose is a aldose. Sucrose also gives Selivanov's positive because the acidity of the reagent is sufficient to hydrolyze sucrose. Okay, sucrose in solution, it is glucose and fructose. Now what is the composition of sucrose, glucose and fructose? So when boiling time, it is hydrolyzed to glucose and fructose. So sucrose also gives Selivanov's positive because it is and hydrolyzed reagent, hydrolyzed solution of sucrose is keto sugar. We are not going in detail about carbohydrate. So only thing you have to identify whether it is glucose or fructose. So we are concentrated about color reactions of monosaccharides. Okay. So this is the procedure. 3 ml of Selivanov's reagent, add 1 ml of sugar solution, heat over a flame and boil only 30 seconds. Here remember, only 30 seconds. Once it start boiling 30 seconds, you have to stop and cool the solution. So we can perform the test for glucose and fructose. If you get after 30 seconds cool, if you get a cherry red color, cherry red means same like cherry fruit color what we added to ice cream and all, no, cherry fruit color, if you get, it is fructose. So finally, so that is the one. So how many tests are over? So Molish test is general test for carbohydrate. Okay, so both glucose and fructose gives positive. Benedict's test is for reducing sugars. So glucose fructose gives Benedict's positive, either green, orange or black red color. What is the use of Barford test? To distinguish between monosaccharide, that is glucose or fructose, from reducing disaccharide, that is from maltose and lactose. If it is monosaccharide, using Barford reagent test we get opaque blue color. Okay, then fourth test is Selivanov's test to distinguish keto sugar from aldose sugar. So if it is fructose or even sucrose, both are keto sugar. Okay, it gives Selivanov's positive. What color we will get if Selivanov's positive? Cherry red color. Last test is ozone test. You have seen in the spotter this ozone. What is actually is ozone test? When reducing sugars, see remember here also identification of reducing sugars only. Actually this test is used to distinguish between maltose and lactose. Okay, different crystals are obtained, but glucose and fructose gives same type of crystal, that is needle shaped crystal. What happens here, when reducing sugars are treated with phenylhydrazine with a buffer, hydrozones are formed, followed by the formation of ozozones. So there is a formation of ozozones. So they shows character in under the microscope crystalline shape, these ozozones. For example, when glucose is treated with the phenylhydrazine solution, we get glucosazone, fructose fructosazone, maltose maltosazone, lactose lactosazone. Okay. So ozozones of monosaccharides are highly soluble and crystallize even in hot. Okay, reducing sugars can be distinguished from phenylhydrazine test, which is characteristic ozone crystals are formed. So too much details is not required. I think no need to take down. I will give separate class how to distinguish glucose and fructose for exam purpose. So ozozones have definite crystalline shapes. Actually what we are doing ozone test means, we have to take a mixture of phenylhydrazine, which is a solid, with the sodium acetate buffer. Okay, add 5 ml of the to that you have to add 5 ml of carbohydrate solution. So phenylhydrazine with the sodium acetate buffer, that is 0.5 gram of phenylhydrazine mixture equal part with sodium acetate buffer. To that we have to add 5 ml of sugar solution. Mix and place in a boiling water bath for 20 minutes and cool and mount the crystals under the low power microscope. Put a drop on the slide and observe under microscope. Different ozozones gives different shapes. So as I told, glucose and fructose gives needle shaped crystal, both glucose and fructose. Okay, maltose gives sunflower petal shaped crystals. Lactose gives, lactosazone is hedgehog type, ball type. Hedgehog, you know, animal with spine, small animal with a split spine. So same type of crystals we get. So how many tests is over? One is the Mollis test is general test for carbohydrate. All sugars will we get, even for starch also carbohydrate. So we supposed to get reddish violet ring with the Mollis test. What is the second test? Benedict test is for reducing sugars. Glucose fructose we get Benedict's positive, either red, orange or brick red color, because they are reducing sugar. Third one is Barford test, is to distinguish between monosaccharide from reducing disaccharide. What is the meaning of monosaccharide? Glucose or fructose. Reducing disaccharide, maltose or lactose. Sucrose is non-reducing. Then fourth test is Selivanov's test. What is the color we get Selivanov's test? Cherry red color. So Selivanov's test is to distinguish between aldo sugar or keto sugar. Keto sugar like fructose or even sucrose in solution gives Selivanov's positive. What is the meaning of Selivanov's positive? We get cherry red color. So fructose gives cherry red color. Okay, so boiling condition is there, that and all you have to note. And last one, ozone test. When carbohydrate solution, that is reducing sugar, remember, when heated with the phenylhydrazine solution, phenylhydrozones, in turn ozozones are formed. That is, crystals are formed, that we have ozone crystals, that respective ozozones are formed, like glucosazone, fructosazone. That precipitate you have to put a mount under a microscope, under in the slide, and observe under microscope. So glucose and fructose gives needle shaped crystals both. Okay, that is all.